I don't know if you look at it, that's a funny clip. So, and then I just run out of bounds, like thinking about the whip, like I didn't even care. That was like my first day in America. Like that was like, 7 months, playing basketball, and I was playing GP and all that stuff. And I didn't really get the chance to really show like what I could do, like if I could even do anything, my junior year. So I had to transfer to another school, the basketball, that was still in Florida. And then I get there, I got the opportunity, and then people started recruiting me. I get to Kansas. The first practice, it wasn't really a practice, it was like a scrimmage that we had. We had, I was a freshman, we had a Tariq Black, he was like a senior transfer from Memphis. People were watching, the women's team was watching, he dunked on me so hard, I was like, I'm not ready for this, like, there's no way. So I go to Coach South's office, I'm like, Coach, I can't do this, like, I need to redshirt, and that was at the time I thought I was going to be in college for 5 years, and I really didn't think I had the potential to be in the NBA, because my whole goal coming to America was to use this basketball opportunity to try to get a degree and make something out of my life and go back home and make money and help my family and all that stuff. So I never thought I had any chance in basketball or whatever. So I told him, and then he's like, "You kidding me? You're gonna be the #1 pick in 2 years." And then I'm like, I've always, like, before I got to college, I was always told that, coaches lie all the time, and then I'm like, this dude, he's just lying to my face. No way, I'm not believing whatever he's saying. So we go on, obviously I went to school with Wiggs, and one thing that people don't know is that I'm always gonna be so thankful for him, because when we went to college, he had so much hype and so much attention. Like, it was crazy. Like, people were like, he's pretty good at what he does, but at that time they were like, he's the next LeBron James. Like, he's gonna be better than him. So like, he has so much hype, and everybody just wanted to come watch him. Like, scouts, like we always had so many scouts, and I guess I was kind of also using that opportunity to show them, what I could do. So when they would come in the gym, like, I would be randomly walking on, a team dream shake, and like show them that, yeah, I got it. And, they started seeing that in me. And then obviously you get to the league, and, a foot injury, you got to miss a couple of years, and like I mentioned, the stories are coming out, and my brother died, so like I really lost all the confidence, because I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like, I even thought about like giving up on basketball, because my brother died and all that stuff. And but going back to your question is like, the first moment that I thought that I had a chance wasn't until I stepped on the basketball NBA floor for the first time. My third year against OKC. I stepped on the floor, Steven Adams was guarding me and all that stuff. I scored a bucket, my first bucket, and then I was like, dang, this is easy. So, we ended up losing the game, but like, that's where like the culture completely changed in Philly. Like, all these losing years before me, there was so much excitement. People were like going crazy. They were like, "Oh, it's about to change." And then I was like, "Wow!" Like, the attention that I'm getting, and what I was like, I think I scored like 22 points in like 26 minutes my first game. I'm like, I was on minute restrictions the whole year, but I'm like, look, this is easy. Like, I can do this. And then that's where, like, back in the day when I used to be going crazy on Twitter and all that stuff and talking about guys, that's when like my personality is also that I like to talk, I like to talk trash. Like, I like to show that I'm better than, everybody else. And, that's why, like, I was going crazy on Twitter whenever I was playing games, whether it was talking trash or It's been easy ever since. Superstars, and they're not. Like, the reality is, there are a bunch. There are superstars. That term is sauce. So you have to take the guys that are superstars to play with. It's like irrational kind of charge the point to make sure y'all understand the mindset of these dudes and how insane it is. And that's why it's only a few of those guys. But, and going back, so you go through that entire journey, you go to the 76ers, and I away and like what happened to everybody, how it shook the world, that statement never rang more true. Like when Kobe passed away, everybody started blowing my Instagram up like often, like Kobe anniversary and stuff. Like my Instagram blowing often from that moment. Like it never rang true because I mean, look at that. Like we all know the reaction. We all know how it affected all of us, and so the story never rang more true. One thing happened, I mentioned, Kobe is the reason why I started playing basketball. So, really? Yes. I was watching, I was about 14, and I was watching the finals, Lakers against Boston. And that's a standing-up win, that series. That's the first time I watched, NBA basketball and all that stuff. And then I was like, Kobe was killing. I'm like, hey, I don't want to be like him. Like, this is crazy. Like, and then, but at that time, my dad didn't want to let me play basketball because he thought it was too physical, which nowadays doesn't make sense because, like, I travel, being physical and show my physicality against whoever I'm playing against. And then it was like, no. And then one of my uncles had to, he had to start trying to cope this and stuff with basketball. And that's how I started watching the Lakers and Kobe. That's why I was such a big, Kobe fan. And it hit me hard, when that happened. Absolutely, man. It was tragic for sure. But I want to ask you this question. And I more so want to ask you this question. In me doing this media thing, one thing I hate about media is how they try to stir controversy. I think it's unnecessary. I can agree with that. But I want to ask you a question about this situation for my own personal sake. And what I want to ask you is, with the Ben situation, I feel like at times we get thrusted into this position of like where you're almost defending the team, and I feel like some of that happened to you in the Ben Simmons situation because the reality is this. I think some of it happened in the Russ KD situation. Like we see it often. It's not like it was just you and Ben. It happens all the time. And the reality is, I think we lose sight ultimately, like with you and Ben, like you expressed your dismay with the situation. You expressed like, get him out of here, then. Like you expressed all of that, but there was a point. I never said that to get him out of there. I just didn't understand what was going on. Honestly, like I didn't understand like what happened, and what led on to that whole situation to this day. I don't understand. Even when you look at, and I don't have any problems with them. And like I said, like obviously we didn't win a championship together, but in the regular season we went down every single season, 51 seasons. Like I always believed that we had a chance to win together. Like I always believed it. Even to this day, I believe that we had a chance to win. And what we were able to accomplish, obviously winning matters the most, but I feel like we had a chance, and that's why I don't understand, into one of these. I understand, his explanation, but a lot of things don't make sense. Do you think your press conference after game 7, was it? Do you think that had any effect on it? I don't think it did. Because, but this is what, you're a member of the media and all that stuff, but this is what you just mentioned, that they're always going to try to pick up little stuff just to make them, look right, or just to cause, like, controversy and all that stuff. If you look at the whole press conference, they asked me a question, what happened? What happened? Like, what caused this loss? And then I literally made mentioned a bunch of events that happened. I mentioned, when it started, and I was being honest, like I said what I want to say, and I'm not gonna, just hold myself just because I gotta, make people feel better, and I feel like I didn't hurt anybody's feelings. I mentioned, I was like, obviously, the past, I didn't even mention that. I said, we just, we missed an opportunity, and then, I actually called him Matisse for missing the free throw. And then I didn't call out by his name. I was like, we missed the free throw. And then I called out a bunch of events that happened after we had we found a 3-point shooter. And then I mentioned me turning the ball over when we were down 4 at that point. They ended up scoring the fast break, which, pushed the lead up to 6 points. I mentioned a bunch of other events where we made a mistake. I mentioned myself, but the media don't they're also hitting that one part where I said we passed a layup and we missed the free throw and all that, so which doesn't make sense. So I didn't call out anybody specifically. I just listed a bunch of events that happened that led to score at that point. The score was tight, we went down by 1 at that point. When we missed the free throw, and then I called out a bunch of events that happened out there, but that just happened to be, that one part where it seemed like I was calling someone out when I wasn't willing to, and I was talking about like the sequence of, events that happened.
For sure, and I think as a leader, one of the things that I do respect is you calling out yourself and saying, "Oh, I had too many turnovers," and especially now down the stretch. Like, as a leader, you have to be able to do that, and I have the utmost respect for that, because I think that's very important, and it's also very important that you can talk about your teammates as well. Like we all struggle, we all go through it.
It's never personal. Like, this year, like, you look at, my press conference with Tyrese, like, when he's not taking shots or he's missing shots or he's not taking one of the shots, I'm like, I'm calling him out. I'm like, you gotta be better. But, like, as teammates, and because we're so close up the court, he understands that I want him to be better. Not just for me, but for the whole team and for himself. Because, like, I understand, you know what it takes to win. I haven't won, but I feel like I have an idea of what it takes to win. I've lost, on the buzzer beater when we had a great team, and, who knows, we could have had a chance to win a championship or play you guys in the finals that year. So, like, I feel like I have an idea of what it takes to win, but I haven't gotten there. So, like, and as you know, you can't win alone. I can't win 105. Like, that's impossible. I need my teammates' help. So, like, when I'm calling whether it's, Matisse or Tyrese, like, they know that it's not personal. They just know that I just care about them, and I want to win so bad that, like, I just want them to be better, and they understand that. And it's never personal.
100%. And I must say something to you. We had this conversation on the podcast before, where I was speaking about winning and losing. And you don't know what it takes to win a championship because you haven't won a championship. You know what it takes to win. Because just because it's hard to win a championship, man. Like, people don't realize all of the things that has to go right in order to win a championship. Like, it's not just about who got the most talent or who had the best year. It's so many things that have to go right. So I would love to correct you here, and you know how to win. You won since you've been healthy. You won. Like, you know how to win. Winning the championship is a different thing that takes a bunch of things to align in order for that thing to actually happen. And the guy who I was talking about was Chris Paul, because people say Chris Paul is the winner. Fuck out of here. Chris Paul is a winner. Chris Paul is one of the better winners in our game. Chris Paul just has not won a championship. But Chris Paul has won over and over and over and over and over again. And you've done the same thing, and you're still very young. So don't get caught up in that whole, I think I know what it takes. You know what it takes to win. You've done everything it does to take to win. And the reality is this. Y'all lost on one of the most impossible buzzer beaters in NBA history to go to the NBA Finals, if I'm not mistaken.
No, second one.
To go to the conference finals. And then y'all would have faced who?
Milwaukee.
That's a matchup that could go either way. You know what I'm saying? And that's also not the Milwaukee with Drew Holiday. That's a totally different Milwaukee team.
Yep.
And so it's the margin for error is this small. Like it's not like you really were right there. And then say you do get through Milwaukee because that was the same Milwaukee team. And now you're playing a beat down Golden State Warriors. Like it's so much really have won, and I hope you don't get caught up in I have not won a championship and I'm not winning. That's bullshit. It's hard to win a championship in this league. And so don't get caught up.
I understand that because I've gotten to the second round, so many times, and and you gotta be so strong mentally, because if you're not, I've gotten to the second round, you get to game 4, and you're you still got conference final, and finally you got another couple of freaking 15 games that you gotta play or whatever. You gotta be mentally strong because the playoffs are draining. The second one that I've gotten, I'm like, damn, you don't take care of my body.
Absolutely. It's one of the most important things. And by the way, the whole taking care of your body thing, it takes time to learn that.
It took me a lot of time.
The way you take care of your body, it may be differently than what I need to take care of my body, right? It takes time to figure that. And time. And so, it's all coming together for you, bro. And I can sit here and talk to you for another hour, and I would love to, but in respect for your time, I'm going to just ask a couple more questions and let you go. I know you got time for a game.
We got time.
Okay. But, okay. And speaking of the Ben trade and with Brooklyn, y'all brought in James Harden. James Harden, who a lot of people has wrote off and said he's out of shape and he's declined and he's no longer the James Harden that we once knew, only to see him reignite or come in with you guys and look just like the James Harden we all knew before. How is that? And I've seen that you said, man, I get more open shots than I've ever gotten. How is that partnership been working out for y'all? And where do you see y'all as far as duos in the NBA? Where do y'all rank?
Well, that's not on me to figure it out, where we rank and all that stuff. At this point, really, I'm really just focused on, finding ways out to, get better every single day. And then obviously, since we added him, just provide, something that we really never had since I got the feeling. So that's a one-up side. And it's been great. And I think all of us, and especially him, is trying to figure it out, how to help everybody. But, James Harden, I told him, I don't care what anybody says, just make me something, freaking go score the ball, try to play make a lot. But that time, I also wanted to be aggressive, and look for his own shot, and all that stuff. But I've been, from all the stories that you hear out there, it's completely different. I've been fun guy to be around, positive energy, always, Cincinnati, and like you said, it's all about time. And, some situations are different than others. I don't know what happened over there. It wasn't the best situation. And I would imagine that he put a lot of thoughts into, really making a decision because you really, that's it. Kevin Durant, you play with him, you know how good he is. And, I always say that, I really believe in myself. as far as like, talented and what I can do on the basketball floor, especially skills when it comes to, my size and all that stuff. Like, if there's one guy that I think, from the size and, what, be able to do on the floor, that's the one guy that I'm like, yeah, he's more talented than me because the guy is 7 feet and he can do everything on the basketball court and even better than I can. But, James has been great. I think we got a chance to, maybe beat you guys, in the finals, but we got a long way to go. We're not where we're supposed to. We still want a lot of things that we got to correct, whether it's defensively and then offensively, trying to find, trying to make sure that we all succeed and all that stuff. But ultimately, I think, we got a couple of games to really get on the same page and we'll be fine.
I think it's been beautiful to watch just for me as a fan of basketball. To watch y'all two out there together and trying to reach back to you last
time is something amazing.
He's kind of like a wild card, like, still really young, so it's hard to get a consistent 20-25 from a guy in his second year in the NBA. Like, that's a very hard thing to do.
But that's why it should be the next night. That's why it should be the most improved, player this year. So
I respect that. But I mean, we'll see. But I like how it's coming together, and obviously I think Doc is one of the better coaches in our league, and so I'm interested to see. And hopefully we will meet y'all in the finals, because as you know, like nobody else in this league, I'm locking that shit up. So
whatever. That's why you need a double team every time we play, y'all.
That's crazy. I never asked for a double team. That's not even in my makeup.
I found myself to be double every single time I play against you.
Hey, if you want to duck in like Shaq, you get 2 feet in the paint, the double team gotta come, big fella. Like, at that point, you gotta go for what you know. You know what I'm saying? But
if you're saying that you're not good of a defender, I mean, I don't know. I've never asked for a double team in my life, so
me either.
I think I'm a pretty good defender, especially when I'm on. So
I mean, when we put you in every pick and roll and they bring you up to blitz because you can't get, you just like blitzing because you can't get up the floor. That's kind of like asking for a double team essentially on the other end.
You want me to play drop against Steph Curry?
No, you don't gotta be dropping, so you gotta blitz it.
I wasn't blitzing last time. I was just trying to make sure we got the ball out on the same time. You can make plays because you can't shoot the basketball.
And I make every other play. And I hope at least leave me over down the stretch. I'm gonna carry your ass.
But without Ronda, big Stephen Curry or you beat us, I'll take you any single day.
Hey, man, Benny has succumbed to that mindset, brother. Benny has succumbed to that mindset. Hey, no, check this out. I would be remiss if I didn't talk to you about the MVP conversation with you and Joker right up there at the top. I don't think there's a wrong answer, but how are you feeling about that? Where do you feel like you're at right now, and what do you think has to happen for you to close it out this year?
I mean, first of all, Jokic is amazing. Yes, he's a monster. Not only play against him twice a year, but you get to play against him 4 times a year or even more in the playoffs. That's a potential matchup for you guys. You know how good it is, and I know how good it is too, because I'm also happy that big guys are dominating. When you look at what it be in Giannis, it's good to see. Nothing against you guys, you Americans, but it's also good to see foreign people, coming in America and just dominate you guys at your own sport. So that's good to see. But he's a monster. But I last year, which, could have gone either way. Like, he found with the stay healthy, and he could have gone either way, but I was also happy that he won, and, this year, I feel like, I took my game to even higher level than I did last year. And the knock on me last year was, I didn't stay healthy for enough games, which, they're probably going to use that against you too when it comes to defensive player of the year. But, this year, what more can you ask? Production went high, I stayed healthy, and, and we had a lot of drama. But you can say that about a lot of teams, but, that whole situation it was extremely draining. It was tough to go through it, especially every single day being asked about the same questions and the same subject all the time. Like he was very annoying. But like I said, everything just speaks for itself. Like you said, there's no right or wrong answer. He's a monster. But I feel like I've also put myself in a position to, where I deserve it, and it is my time. But like I said, it's up to you guys, you the media.
I don't got that kind of vote. I wish I did have that vote, but I can probably vote better than some other folks. But I ain't got that vote yet.
Yeah, but I'm saying your media friends, it's up to you. Who deserves it, who's gonna win it. But winning the championships matters to me a lot. So if I were to not win it and win a championship, even better. So, but then again, we all have egos. Like, you wanna win a bunch of defensive player of the year in your career, just like I wanna win a bunch of MVPs and defensive player of the year in my career. Like, at some point, it would be cool to do both too, especially at the same time.
Hey man, you ain't winning no defensive player of the year blitz and stuff. They don't blitz with Rudy Gobert.
Hold on. That's why Steph always freaking kills him. I'm not playing. Because you cannot play drop against freaking Steph Curry. And by the way, we had that conversation about, how to figure out who's a great defender and who's not. So, the thing is, I don't know. Who's the favorite to win defensive player of the year this year?
I'm not sure. I stopped keeping up with it once I got hurt. I agree.
Yeah. I agree. So what would be your criteria to figure it out, who wins the awards? Let's say defensive player of the year. You gotta have a top 10 defense, right? At least.
I think you definitely have to have a top 10 defense for sure. But it's like you can't win MVP and you got a bottom 5 offense. I think you gotta have a top 10 defense.
Or lower than a 4 seed or whatever.
Yeah, I think you gotta have a top 10 defense. But you also have to pass the eye test. Just because you have a top 10 defense doesn't necessarily mean it's like, hey, this guy's a defensive player. Yeah, I think sometimes that gets skewed at times. But like I said in my press conference the other day, I think there's no debate through 34 games, which was what I had played before I got hurt. We were 28-6. Through 34 games played, I don't think there was any secret that I had to solidify.
Oh yeah, for sure. I agree with that.
Okay. To follow that, I don't see who solidified themselves since then. And so my thing is, if nobody solidified themselves in these 34 games since I went out, and I've had it solidified 34 games in, then how can I not still go on to be the defensive player of the year? Because I didn't play enough games? Because I'm going to end up playing 48 games, I think. I've seen people win it and play 50, 51, and 52. So am I 2 games short of being able to win it? I think it's been proven, you know, what my defense does for a team. But if I win it this year, great. If not, whatever.
But if I didn't win that MVP last year, missing 20 games, you can't win Defensive Player of the Year either.
That's true, but the only thing is, where they going at you at is they're really counting against you your prior history. Because missing 20 games is not, like, I don't know, most guys only going to play a max of 70 anyway.
Yeah, for sure.
And so missing 20 games is really not that much. I think what they was counting against you was your past history. So they can say, oh, but he's always hurt, right? And you, the reality is, you haven't been hurt like that in 5 years. Right? I agree. But you know how it goes. These narratives take on a life of their own, and then that's just kind of what it is.
Yeah, but I do agree with you, but yeah, you definitely got to pass the eye test, and yeah, obviously you guys' defense is the freaking best in the league, so I guess it's not up to us, it's up to the voters.
That's a fact.
I want to mention something, like, to me, it's like, yo, like, I don't understand how you can do defense.
Elden Ring quick tips. Go. If you head directly north from the starting location, you'll find the War Master Shack, who sells Ashes of War. Pick up the No Skill skill, makes sense? And put that ability on your shield. That will replace the parry button with your weapon's main active ability instead. Now you can use those big flashy attacks while still having a shield ready to go in your offhand. The weapon you're rocking might have a really good dodge attack. Dodging takes time, costs extra stamina, and you have to move, obviously, to do this attack. But if you light attack while crouching instead, that is a shortcut to your weapon's dodge attack. If you quickly press crouch and then attack, this is a pretty effective way to use during a fight, and you avoid spending that extra stamina dodging. You can also use this out of a sprint in place of your sprinting attack. Pretty sweet. You might have thought that holy damage is required to actually kill off the skeletons that continually reanimate. Not true though in Elden Ring. With any damage, all you need to do is hit them once when they're in their downed reanimating animation. No more skeletons. However, skeletons, the spirit ones you can summon, also have this reanimating property as well. These spirits will keep getting back up over and over with full HP, as long as they don't get destroyed while they're reanimating. These can make a huge difference during boss fights, and are one of my favorite spirit types. You likely know these annoying flame-spewing traps. Well, just throw on a bow and simply shoot them. They will retract, letting you easily pass on through. Why didn't I think of this sooner? Many weapons let you hit multiple times on horseback if you hold down the heavy attack button. Some hit twice, but some continually hit a few extra times. Also, you can hold the use button and press R1 to swap to your offhand on a horseback. If it's a shield, holding heavy attack actually blocks during the first half of that animation. If you don't hold down the button for the entire animation, you can avoid the attack out of it. This lets you travel on horseback while still being able to block from forward-facing damage. With the No Skill Ash of War on your offhand, I also recommend only having one weapon on your right-hand equipment slot. Then if you hit D-pad right, you're unarmed, and your active ability will change to a kick. If it's a tanky blocking shielded enemy, this kick will easily break its stance, letting you get in a critical strike after. Your foot hates shields, or loves shields. I don't know. If for whatever reason you have a heavy equipment load, gross, you're going to be slow rolling. This is pretty ineffective during combat. However, you can still freely jump with a heavy equipment load, which should replace your dodge in these situations. Now you can be chunky and still be somewhat agile. Those flame-spewing towers you now know how to quickly neutralize can also be used to your advantage. Instead of trying to attack the thing and then try to jump on it in the heat of a battle to get to a higher vantage point, you can actually just run directly into it and then jump. Since your jump has a slight impact value to it, it'll activate the trap at the same time. Then you can safely sit on top of it and wait for pursuing enemies to stroll right on into that fire. Free kills. The time of day actually affects more than just the lighting. It also affects some enemy spawns. On this early bridge, the normal mounted soldier will be replaced with this much tougher Dark Knight, for example. Be careful where the sun don't shine. Once you find yourself a great rune by taking down a major boss, just equipping it does not grant its effects. You need to find...
In Elden Ring, you are nothing without your weapons, so here are some that you should not miss. Now, just know, there are a ton of weapons in this game, so narrowing them down to just 10 for a list is tough. It's really tough. Just keep in mind that these are our personal favorites. They're not necessarily the end-all, be-all weapons in the game. Sometimes those in build guides and stuff takes months to show up. These are just weapons that we really like, and also some that are just generally helpful at certain points in the game. So let's get started off with number 10. Let's talk about the Twin Blade plus Blood Flame Blade. Have you ever tried to use a double-sided lightsaber in a Souls game? At least in one that's not called Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order? Well, now you can. This hilarious, weird combo was discovered by Reddit user Night Paradox, who used a Twin Blade, which can be found pretty early in the game in the Dragonburg Ruins, with the Blood Flame Blade incantation, which is dropped from a scarab near the Rose Church in the Liurnia region. Now, if you've got the requisite stat requirements, you can use the Twin Blade and cast the Blood Flame incantation to give your sword a proper lightsaber look and just go nuts. It's easy to make this sort of combo look awesome with a few clips, but really, it's just to look cool, and that's about it. The actual Blood Flame power doesn't last that long. Still, just casting the spell kind of looks like you're powering on a lightsaber, and it's just an all-around cool weapon and magic combo that's not too hard to get your hands on. Next, over at number 9, let's talk about Roger's Rapier. Now, if you're going for mostly dexterity-based weapons, then this Rapier is something to get for a few reasons. For one, it starts off being a +8 weapon, so it's already been upgraded a lot by the time you get it, and it's totally free and pretty easy to get. All you have to do to get your hands on it is to talk to Roger in the church in Stormvale Castle. Keep talking to him until you run out of new dialogue, then just keep going through the area until you take out Godric, the boss of the area. Roger should appear in the Round Table Hold now.
Always good to see you safe. So, what do you do?
And if you tell him you killed Godric, he'll reward you with his sword. And the fact that it's already upgraded so much is really the best thing about it. Otherwise, it's a pretty standard rapier, but all those upgrades really do make a difference and give you some leg up. It's a powerful weapon with low stat requirements that's great for a dex magic build, so get it if you can. Now, next at number 8, let's talk Lestat's Glintstone Staff. Found in Celia, town of sorcery, after killing the bosses there, this staff is an awesome weapon for a single reason. Its intelligence scaling is huge. The requirements are...
Elden Ring's seemingly endless supply of loot never ceases to amaze me. The game is simply filled with some extremely strong weapons and items, including legendary ones that might very well change how you play the game. Today we're going to take a look at even more such weapons and items, but do keep in mind that there might be some slight spoilers I will discuss about, since quite a few of these will be found a bit later into the game. Let's begin with the Bloodhound Fang, which is an amazing greatsword, not just early on but also later on, and it comes with some really powerful abilities. Now you get this through a side mission quite early on in the game over here at the Mistwood Ruins. Once you reach this place for the very first time, you will hear a wolf howl, and this is basically the trigger for that side quest. Once you heard it, head back over at the church and speak with Carly about it, as he's going to give you a bit more info as well as how to summon a special character. So he's going to give you access to a special emote of Finger Snap, which is why you're going to want to go ahead and equip it. Once you've done that, head over back at the ruins and use the Finger Snap to summon Blade, possibly one of the coolest characters in Elden Ring. And he's gonna tell you about a certain character that you have to defeat. So to do that, pretty much head over right here just south of that region. You likely even know about this place because it's going to put you through a pretty interesting mini boss fight. It should be pretty easy because you can also live summon Blade and also your own summon, and between these two the boss should be really easy. point at which you can collect the really awesome curved sword from its body. And this is a really amazing.
Today's podcast is sponsored by Manscaped. Check out their Ultra Premium Collection. It's a cleaning routine for more than just your balls. The kit has you fully covered head to toe. When you feel clean, you feel confident, like me, the baddest man around. The Ultra Premium Collection includes Manscaped's deodorant for your armpits. It also includes a hydrating body spray. Get that to the dry skin. Then Body One and the 2-in-1 shampoo as well. All products are cruelty, paraben, and dye-free. Clean yourself off after a hard workout like I do with the Ultra Premium Collection.
If it's smelling great all day long, also don't forget the flagship Manscaped Long Mower 4.0.
Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code HOTBOXIT at manscaped.com.
Again, that's 20% off free shipping with the code HOTBOXIT at manscaped.com. Being a badass now comes in a bottle thanks to Manscaped.
Yes, sir.
It's too friendly. Y'all be like the River Bird of the man. Suck this. Give me this motherfucker. Get in the ring. We signed a contract, bitch.
Right.
You know, when you're in this business, your whole purpose is to crush the world to your feet, man. Motherfucker out there think he can beat you. Get the fuck out of here.
Hello, this is season 4 of Hot Box, and I'm Mike Tyson, and my co-host here is Mr. Paul Pierce, and we're here with one of the greatest fighters of all time, Jamal Charlo. Thank you, brother. Listen, man, I've been watching you want to fight. I want to see you. You ever fight that guy? What was his name? They call him Dog? Dog. The Dog. What was his name?
I only know one dog, though.
That's him. Yeah, you know, before that be fly.
I think the guy was like,
About Benavides, you fight him?
I fight him, for sure. Yeah.
Then why you not getting
You said he fight anybody. Right. You know that.
I don't know why did I let you fight this guy? This guy got me calling him the Mexican monk. Everybody scared of this guy. They say you want to fight him.
I just think his value is low and not worth as much as
Oh,
like,
God damn,
like,
man.
I'd rather like be one of the best in the world right now. They got him go.
Then why you not fighting?
Sure, it's not like it was whenever when you was coming up and buy somebody. I gotta go do.
Listen, you just start talking about his mother, his family,
They don't
you
like
get a
it.
fight.
They don't like
Oh,
him now.
man.
No, it's different. It's different on his own. But look, I seen him at the fight, the last Canelo fight. He was over there ringside kind of calling him out. I felt like, I don't know what he said, but it looked like he wanted some of that.
Nah, it's too friendly.
Not at all to me,
It's too friendly.
Right.
It's too friendly. You gotta be like the River Bird of the man. Suck this. Give me this motherfucker. Get in the ring. We signed the contract, bitch.
Right.
You know, when you're in this business, your whole purpose is to crush the world to your feet, man. Motherfucker out there think he can beat you. Get the fuck out of here.
But
That's real talk. That's from a fighting top pedigree perspective.
And you know what? It's easy to create that buzz with the social media too. You
Man,
go on
you
the
should be fighting.
ground.
You don't wait till you get out of your prime, then fight. Man, you should be fighting right now. The best prime. You should be calling them out.
I think he just doesn't play at that
I think that too. I need him to prove it.
Right.
That the world needs him to prove it. Before he goes to a wheelchair or something, man. You gotta start fighting. You know, what's your brother, 54? That man that never spent up and fought him, man, what kind of money they can make. See, that's what this is all about. They train you. Dig, that's the only reason. If you're a friend, how am I you will be my friend? Let's help me get me some money. Let's fight and get $10 million. That's what my friend do. My friend fights me, helps me help my family. That makes sense. That's what friends do. We go all out and after we go to the same party and we go to church with him.
Hey, you ever fought somebody that was your friend?
My friend Henry Tillman, yeah.
But I'm saying, like, did you take it easy on him?
No, he wasn't taking it easy on me. He already kicked my ass 2 times in the amateurs.
Yeah.
You know?
Because, like, if that's your boy, that's hard to let the hands loose.
No, well, if that's your boy, you're gonna let him starve, you're gonna let his family starve.
That's how you know.
You can help him out.
Right.
I don't have no friends in boxing. It's just
See,
me and my
that's
brother.
what I'm talking about.
Like, I don't know nothing about that friend stuff.
But then, listen, then that's why you should be calling everybody out.
We was trying to I don't call it everybody out. He called Canelo off for 5-6 years already.
Then fight the next best guy, the Mexican monster, Benavides.
You know, Mexican monster.
Everybody's scared of him. Nobody's fighting.
We're not scared of no. You can hurt.
Please call these people out. Listen, the whole world looking at you. Call these people out.
What's up? It's the Jamal to you, man, Charlotte. Let's get it. Who won it?
Name them names, man.
They know who they is.
Name them names, please. The names need to be named. The Mexican monster.
Mexican monster, Canelo, all of them. He won't shit.
He want real one of the homies shit. We can get in there and tangle.
Call them some bitches and stuff. Say something else. Call them that. Say something like
I don't
that.
have to disrespect them later on.
No, not
Mike, it ain't like that. It ain't like that no more.
Okay, I'm sorry. Stop some Listen, this is really a beautiful show today. And the cold is just marvelous, you know.
Oh man, this is an honor, truthfully, for me, because I think as a hooper, we always looked up to boxing. We always had to fight, sit in the front row, and to be able to sit here with some of the greatest ever is an honor.
And we always courtside at the games.
Yeah. When I was young, I used to always courtside too. Jordan and those guys was playing. I would ask them to give me their sneakers sometimes.
Yeah, that was dope.
Yeah.
My memory of you, Mike, I just remember because I went to some fights early 90s. I just remember I was in high school. They was like, you got to get to the fight early or you're going to miss the fight.
What was that all about? Listen, when I was like
myself cleaning them up.
When I look at myself when I'm young, I said, who the fuck is it? What was that all about? What was that era of my life all about? It's about chaos, chaos.
Yeah.
Couldn't kill myself fast enough. So what the fuck?
That's what made you great. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes your gift can be your curse. But that's what make you great.
Fighters in the 80s, they were some, I don't know, they were just that's what the 80s was, in your face. 80s were in your face. And that's how the fighters were, just in everybody's face.
It wasn't no social media.
Right.
You had to really go out and bite somebody ear off for the whole world.
Yeah, that's real talk,
you really had to grind.
That's real talk, man. But it was sincere. It wasn't something rehearsed.
Right.
In the 80s, that's why it was such a bang. When something happened, holy shit. What boom, what shit.
The whole fight game can change so much. It's like, what's your thought on, these YouTubers getting money now?
I mean, it's just what everything turning into, like NFTs and all the, metaverse and stuff like that. It's just kind of what the world is just starting to turn into. But to each his own, I haven't really seen one of those YouTubers get in there with a real boxer, somebody go fight for the WBC.
Mike's supposed to fight Jake Paul.
Yeah, I heard about
told me that. Nobody told me that.
Oh, come on. Why you don't know?
Hey, nobody ain't trying to know. Hey, I don't got no fucking money right now. Where the fucking contract?
How you ain't heard that? I've heard that.
Yeah, this gonna be one of the big things. Now, talk that shit you was just telling me to talk.
I don't know nothing about
no with Jake Paul.
I've been smoking with him forever. I did some shows with him as well. But I've never heard this. I was with him in St. Bart not too long ago. Party. He never told me that. I never heard this from anybody. I'm just chilling out with you guys.
But guess what it did? It gained a whole lot of attention.
Yeah.
That could possibly get a whole lot of money. So, 49 million? Come on, Mike. Knock his ass out.
We gotta get some more, man. Shit, blue-eyed, blonde hair, shit. That shit is very expensive, man. We gotta get some more money, man. Shit.
Straight up.
Yeah, I'm just...
When you see these guys out in public, what do? You say hi, you slap them five. What's it like? And then these fighters, Benavidez, if you saw him out in public, if he was right there, it's
They'll be outside.
They'll be outside
He be outside.
Yeah, for sure.
He be
outside. But just saying, in case they do see each other.
Me and my twin brother not known for you could just come up and just say what you want to say to, me and my brother, just, it's smooth. It'd probably be a fight right there. We ain't finna talk about it. We gonna see
I like that. So when you see that, we
locked in.
This beautiful. God, who you want to fight again?
Man, I want to fight the best out there, the best in the world. Let's just get in there. We don't got too much longer. I'm 31 now.
No, you got a lot of time. Hey, no compassion. Okay, no compassion.
Come on, Mike.
Who the best pound for pound in your eye?
Man,
right now.
Right now, shit. We gotta go with Canelo.
You think he's the best pound for pound?
I mean, right now, we looking at pound for pound. What that means to some people? I think a fighter that goes from weight division, become champion in all the
consistency.
Yeah, he's become champion in all the divisions, and you know, he deserved it.
All right, okay.
We gotta take Pacquiao out of there.
Yeah, he out of there.
Yeah, we gotta stop mentioning Keith Thurman. And
I ain't seen Keith Thurman.
right, but he's not in pound for pound though. That's the thing.
Nah.
My brother definitely belongs in pound for pound. I'll be number 11 if that's the case. I'm cool with just being in.
Yeah, but he definitely one of the best. It's hard to like really put a number on anybody because everybody great in their own way.
You said the best though. That's a number. That's like a number. Number one pound for pound.
I'm hearing different names all the time. One week they say Canelo, Terrence Crawford, Earl Spence. It's like somebody knew somebody.
No one's ever the good. It's never going to be the greatest of all time because everybody's going to have their era when they're great in this time.
Yeah.
Like, you one of the greatest of all time. Of all time. Nobody ever let us do what you did.
Then millenniums go by and stuff. And it's good to be sometimes no one's better to be a legend than to just be a picture on the wall. That's Uncle Mike.
What you think about right now? Like, okay, what you think of Joshua, by the way?
I think Joshua, I think he can still learn some stuff.
He got to fight on boy again. What's some boy name?
You said
I wouldn't fight him right away unless I've had him in the gym with guys that are really awkward left-hand fighters. Because, he's really outboxed him, outsmarted him. He wasn't prepared to handle a guy with a good jab.
I mean, but he was so much smaller than him.
Size be nothing. When you
you that big, though. Come on.
No. When you look at the statistics scale, they say he's 240, this guy 220. You can't weigh somebody's will and desire and determination. How can you weigh that? How do you weigh that? That's spirit. How do you weigh spirit? 1.2 grams? How do you weigh that? Supposed to the same weight?
The strategy was off. When you that big, that much of a read, he didn't apply his
when you're that big, your muscles need more oxygen to breathe.
But he didn't apply no pressure to do.
Well, the movement is too more. The movement is too. I've been there before. When the movement is, it's like dancing. Somebody just can't keep up with you dancing.
Favorite boxer to watch?
Wow, Aaron Pryor was a monster to watch.
Like today.
Today, so many great fighters.
Who's your favorite? Both of y'all. Who's your favorite boxer to watch?
I like the lightweight division. I like Haney and those guys. I like Davis. I like all of those the big guys. Yeah, I want to see this guy right now. I want to see him wipe everybody out.
Yeah, he got a lot going on.
Yeah, he got a lot going on.
Nah, I want to see.
What about that one?
Him and his brother.
Oh, yeah.
They can wipe everything out.
They
They
excited.
have potential to just wipe everything out.
Right.
That's just all I always want to do. No one can have any face over nothing.
Right. You know what? Well, tell me, so like, what's the difference now from like your era to today? Like, what's the difference? Is it because of the promoters, TV networks, that everybody got passion? You know what?
I'm not doing nothing unless I fight him. That's all you have to do. I'm not fighting nobody unless I fight him. I'm not fighting nobody. They strip the belt from me. If I'm not fighting him, I'm not fighting nobody. That's what happens to people that the belt stripped. Just to fight each other.
But it's different now.
No, it don't have to be different.
Yeah. They got,
There's a lot of belts out there.
Take them all, get them all, rack them up. This is the business when you're in here. This is about competition. You win as many championships as you win. You're not in here to play. This is not a game. This is for immortality.
I mean, I think right now, it's like, all right, how much more longer you want to box? What, 31?
Until I get all the belts. like Mike said, like that's like
what I'm saying.
like a boxing mentality.
What is it that you want to accomplish? You want all the belts.
I want all the belts. I want to be classified as like one of the best fighters of my in my division for sure.
Yeah.
And want to go down in history as one of the best twins that ever laced up a pair of basketball.
Right. All the belts.
But like I'm saying, like,
how was that like
it's
carrying all the belts? How was that? You walk up there with like, how many belts you had? 5?
No, it was only 3 at the time.
3?
Yeah.
How many is it now?
4 or 5.
5 or so. That's even more enthusiastic. You have all those belts wrapped around you. You don't get your ego involved with fighting. I think about there's nobody that could beat me to ever sort of son. I used to look at myself larger than I actually am. That's what life is about. This guy created affirmation. They've been doing that before Christ, but
time ago. You know, God humbles you, man. You get humbled quick. I'm humbled quick in this world.
I think I was like that when the first time I met him too. It's at the MGM. I think Floyd was fighting like Madonna or something. You came in with the kufi on your head and everything. Really? Dude was grabbing you. It's like, man, get up on here.
No, Koopy Mike was unapproachable.
Oh, he was unapproachable. I still got that picture.
Koopy Mike was unapproachable for sure. Hey, Koopy Mike was unapproachable, straight up.
Like, man, get off me. I'm like, what's up, Mike? I know who you are. I'm like, cool, bro.
Listen,
Oh my
that was just my whole goal in life for those old timers to know my name, know who I am, tell people about me and stuff. It's stupid, right? And I knew these guys, listen, this is weird. I wanted to be a part of that fraternity, even though I knew these guys would be bums. At the end of the game, no fucking money. Just want to be down.
Right.
And I'm sure you just want to be down with these. Who the fuck are these guys? You want them
Like the Migos and shit.
No, it's the fight. The fight. But them too, but you know what I'm saying? Who the fuck am I come from the sluts?
Yeah.
Favorite Mike moment.
Favorite Mike moment.
Most memorable. So you said you like Holyfield better. Was it
I did.
Holyfield?
When I bit that nigga hair.
That shit was crazy. That was crazy. I watched that fight live. Like,
You were there?
I know when I watched it live, oh yeah. Now we had money like that might growing up. Nobody sent us no
I always
tickets.
wanted that ticket
Mike.
too much.
Yeah, nobody sent us no
I always
tickets.
thought because the coaches always go to the championship fight. I always saw the Rand fight live. So a lot of guys fight when I was a kid. Alexis Arguello fight live.
Yeah, and it tripped me out when I saw you train with Ronnie Shields.
Yeah?
Yeah, that was probably my favorite.
You know Ronnie?
Do I know Ronnie?
Yeah.
He's been training me all my life.
Really?
All my life.
He's a really nice guy, right?
Yeah.
I like Ronnie.
You know Ronnie Shields?
I know him very well, yeah. That's why I asked you.
Really? Ronnie Shields my main trainer
He
right
trained with you, bro?
Yeah. Tell me what's the deal, man? I know he wants to get you big fights. I know
Yeah, we've been working on it. Like Ronnie one of those just like stay calm, stay patient, stay poised, just it's gonna happen. For me,
but you gotta stay sharp though.
I'm staying sharp.
Yeah, you gotta stay sharp for these niggas.
Yeah.
Cause Sugar Ray Leonard, he'll wait you out till you get old. You have a couple of fights, then I don't think I'm gonna deal with you. You're too great. Next thing you know, he's calling you out. He's in shape. He got shape. He got these little extra fights. Next thing you know, I can't be. Next thing you know, he's in shape. I challenge you for your title. You partying. Then he retired. He's not fighting no more.
That's a good one.
Next thing you know,
Like, he gonna wait you out.
What?
He gonna wait you out.
What?
I use my
Who he did like that?
Hagler and those guys.
He waited them out.
He waited. Trust me. Don't play with this
He
guy.
fought them early now.
No, he let them wear them. They kept letting them fight and fight. He was fighting those fights. Saying, I'm not fighting. I'm nowhere. I'm fighting. He's staying in shape in the gym. And they think they come up with, I'll challenge you for your heavyweight champion. Yeah, but Floyd's just a bad nigga. Even though people like they gotta give him this
Well, we like him.
You gotta give him his praise.
He just definitely mastered the marketing.
Absolutely.
The marketing field of boxing.
Absolutely.
Like, he turned boxing into like you market yourself. Jake Paul.
Yeah, Floyd.
Ryan Garcia. Big as hell. That little thing he good though. He acted about it. That's the thing.
But it all started from Floyd. Floyd being boxers, businessmen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when the Tank gonna fight somebody, he already went up overweight. He was 140 from 130.
Yeah, Tank gonna be a good 47 pounder after
You think so?
He's gonna easily go 47.
Really?
Smooth it out.
Really? Wow, he's gonna be sure 47, huh?
Well, that's just how it's gonna be now. Like,
He's good. He's
That's where all the fights.
yeah, all the 47 gonna be hot. 54 gonna be hot.
Like,
Like,
think about him and what's homeboy's name?
Tank Crawford. I don't like it. I don't like his
Too big for him, man.
Crawford too big. Yeah, he's strong.
You know, right now.
Crawford pretty strong though. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, man. Walking around. Like, I mean, 147. down for it. Just imagine. Something natural.
Yeah, I didn't think it was natural. I didn't think it was natural like that.
No, I knew that. You gotta stay away from it before it. My brother told me now I'm not going to
I think we should go. I think I've been,
my brother to fight spin so bad. That's like when you that's the thing. It's insane.
That's why it's a big money fight.
But it is a big money fight. That's a fight nobody even talking about. Louisiana, but moved to Houston. And then did my whole high school, the whole career, everything. My mom got a job.
Well, like, what in Houston, what got you into boxing?
My dad boxed, man. So growing up, Harlan Williams, Savannah. At the time, it was like Warren Diaz, like real big from Houston. You know, it's just
because it's
always around boxing. You know, just
you ain't really heard of. It ain't really been a big hub for boxing.
But Houston?
Houston?
It wasn't.
It always had great boxing.
Yeah, it's always had like
always had great fighters.
Yeah.
Like when we was in the amateurs, just to get out of Texas was like fighting in the national tournament. Yeah. Like just Texas.
Gonzales, Texas.
Right.
Kicking everybody back.
And shoot. You like, hey, shoot, what is that? Fire. Austin, you know, Dallas.
Right.
Earl Spence, them all, they off in Dallas, you know, like.
It's all know about fighting.
Yeah. And then we fighting Mexicans all the time. Like, we right next to the border. So we fighting Texas versus Mexico.
Whenever I go about that, well, man, I went to dance with these people. Oh, when they bring that gun up on that side, like the Wild Wild West.
Yeah.
We had old women that crippled with guns on their waist, just trying to God. You know the Wild West. You never been to that?
I've never been there. I heard about it, though. But you know, our gun law is different in Texas. Everybody's strapped.